Hey folks, John from BotaTrac here. I want to welcome you back to my channel and thank you for tuning in. Today we're going to talk about the Kubota RCK60B 50-inch belly mower that I use on my BX25D. That belly mower gets about 18 to 20 hours of use a week at a minimum, and getting it ready before the season really ensures that I don't have any problems, going through the cutting season. So going to talk about the mower, how I get it ready. Then we're going to head over to the bench. I'm going to show you the parts that I'm going to use, the things that I'm going to change. This is my 5th year with the belly mower, so it's time to replace the blades. Normally I just sharpen them, but they've been sharpened 4 or 5 times, so it's about time to replace them. And I'll show you how that procedure goes. So let's head on over to the belly mower and get started. I got the belly mower laid out, and as you can see behind it, I have a furniture pad. I'm gonna lay that pad out and then prepare this to be flipped over. The first thing I'm gonna do is change the blades on it. So we're gonna take these covers off here and on both sides, and then I'm gonna use some zip ties to hold this shaft on. Not a big deal if the shaft falls off. It's a little bit of a pain to get it lined back up and put on. I just don't like to do it, so I'm just going to seal that up. Once we get that done, we're going to flip it over onto the furniture pad and pull the blades off. So before we do that, let's head over to the bench and I'll show you the parts that I'm going to change today. Okay, here at the bench you can see that I have a new belt. I may or may not put that on, depends on the condition of this belt. I ordered this belt about a year ago, and last year the belt looked good enough, so I didn't change it. We're going to get paper towels to help with the grease fittings. We have 3 new blades to go on. These are aftermarket blades. I did not buy Kubota blades. I thought they were a little bit too expensive for my taste. And gear oil, I use Valvoline 8090 gear oil, wherever I have to put gear oil in any of the gearboxes that I use. So just to keep it standardized, this is what I use. So let's head over to the belly mower and get it started. Okay folks, so we're back at the deck now, and as you can see, I took the pulley covers off. They're off now, and I secured the drive shaft. If you're wondering why this looks so clean, it's because whenever I get done using an implement, I pressure wash it and put it away. I know some of you guys may think that this is a little bit extreme, just the way that I do things. So now that this is anchored down and those tops are off, I'm going to flip this over and expose the cutting blades, and we'll get them off in just a second. So I'll be right back. Okay, so we're over here at the deck, and I put a 2x4 in between the center blade so that it will bind when I go to take this apart. I'm definitely going to go ahead and use an impact wrench to do this, but you can use a breaker bar. It's not a big deal. They're not on there too much. They're only torqued to 100 pounds, so not that big a deal. So I'm just going to go ahead and rip through this real quick and get those blades off. And there you go. That's all there is to it. Once you have them done, the blades will come right off. So we're going to pull them off, and we'll go back over to the bench, and I'll show you the new blades that I'm putting in on there. Okay, so here we are over at the bench, and here's the old blade that I took off. Here's the new blades that we're going to replace it with. I decided to go with a mulching blade instead of just the standard blade. I don't know if it's going to make much of a difference. I hope it does, but time will tell. So when these get installed, this will actually be installed in that position so that these cutting teeth right here are facing towards the deck. Because if you flip this over, then you can see how these lips are. These are supposed to be mulching blades also, but I don't know. Anyhow, when it's bolted to the deck, it's bolted in this position with the cuts and the bend of the blade facing the deck. So this will go on in this position. So I'm going to take these 3 over there, and we're going to get ready to put them on. I'll meet you back over at the deck in just a second. All right, so before I put these blades on, I want to take these cups off, and I want to make sure that I don't have any grease or oil that's worked its way through those bearings. These are the pulleys on the other side that are driven by the belt. Everything looks okay, so I'm just going to give them a little blast of air while I got it off for good measure. And then we're going to go ahead and start reassembling these, putting the cups on, and then I'll set those blades on. So one of the things that I like to do before I put the bolts back in is I like to put a little bit of never seize on them. That just helps out. So I'm going to never seize these socket nuts. I'm going to never seize the bolts that are here. I'm going to run them on and tighten them down, and then we'll be back just to show you what the finished product looks like on the underside of the deck, and we'll attack the upper side in just a minute. So be right back. Okay, so the blades are on, and I thought that it's best if I go over the order that the washers go back in case you don't know how they go. It is very specific, and when you take these washers, you have 3 of them, and let me bring them a little bit closer to the camera so that you can see them. So you have a hex washer, or a washer with a hex head cut into it, and you have a flat washer, and you have a crowned washer. This washer has a slight crown in it, and you can see it if you hold it and look at it from the side. I don't know if the camera can see it. But the first washer that's going to go down against the blade is going to be this crowned washer. So this washer, the crowned washer, goes on first. The second washer to go on in its place is going to be the flat washer. That's the next one that goes on in its place, because when you tighten the bolt down, you want the whole assembly to push down on that crown washer so that it really holds that blade on tight. So that's the second washer to go on. And then the last washer is this hex washer that's here. And this goes on just by fitting it over the hex, and it'll only go on one way. And of course, while the camera's rolling, it gives me a hard time, but I got it in the end. So it goes on there, and you can see that it sits up just a little bit. When you tighten that bolt down, it's going to suck that whole assembly down nice and tight against the shaft. So I'm going to get these on and get them tightened down, and then we'll flip the deck over and get to the other side. So I'll be back in just a second. Okay, so now that the assembly is put back together, I went ahead and ran the bolts down. I'm going to take the torque wrench set to 100 pounds, and I'm going to go ahead and torque these down to 100 pounds. That's what's in my manual. I'm telling you, please look at your own manual and make sure that you get the torque specifications that are for your deck proper. There's certainly a liability issue here. If you don't torque these down, some serious damage, injury, or death could probably occur under the right circumstances. So please check your manual. I'm going to go ahead and torque these down, and we're going to flip this. Okay, now we'll flip this over and I'll be right back. Okay, so we have the deck flipped over now, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to drain the oil out of the gearbox. And in order to do that, I need to either remove or disengage the belt. Now, I know that I told you that I was going to replace that belt earlier, but I just inspected it, and I think I'm going to go another year with the belt. There's no abrasions or cracks or breaks in it. It's pretty pliable. So I'm going to hold on with it, but if you've ever tried to take pressure off of this pulley before and change the belt, it's a little concerning, I guess, to me. I mean, I had a hard time with it. Maybe you guys know how to do it, but the best way I found to do it was to take a thin screwdriver and set it right in that area right there, okay? Right in that area there, so that I'm hooked against that. You see where I'm at? And then I can push that way over and roll the belt off. So I'm going to put this camera here down, and I'm going to roll this over as far as I can. Oops. Get that over as far as I can, and then I can easily take this belt off and get it out of the way. Put that over there. so that I can get to this area here and drain the oil out of the gearbox. So I'm going to grab a pan to catch that. I use a thin tin baking pan to get underneath there, and we'll be right back. Okay, so here we are back on top of the deck again. You're going to need a 12 millimeter wrench and a 22 millimeter socket to open this up and drain the oil out. So I will start with this 12 millimeter here and open this up, and then we'll vent it with the 22 millimeter socket. I was really kind of hoping that this would come out a little easier, but I guess the socket probably would have been faster in the long run with this, but I'm sure we're pretty close to being completely out. And there is a brass washer on there that helps make this seal. So with this out, I'll take this ratchet, and this is where we fill it. Just open the fill cap, and we should run out pretty good once this is off. Yeah, you can see it starting to, and there we go. So I'm going to let this drain out completely. The gear oil doesn't look too bad. Some guys don't change it every year, but I just think that changing it in the spring makes more sense to me. I mean, it does look like it's brand new. I don't see any debris inside of it, but let's go ahead and get this done. We'll be back when I get ready to fill it and tighten it all back up, and then we'll go on to greasing the pulleys, putting the covers back on, and finishing this up. So back in a second. Okay, so we're back at the top of the deck now. The oil, gear oil's pretty much washed out. I blew a little bit of air into the fill here just to kind of push out what little bit was left remaining. I did check the washer, the brass washer on these 3 bolts, make sure that they were in good condition and clean. So we're going to go ahead and put the bottom one in just so that we can start to fill it. And you're going to put just enough oil, gear oil, in until it comes out of this top hole. So as you saw before, I had the large gallon size of gear oil. I put it in the quart size because it fits in that hole pretty good. And just go ahead and squeeze it in until it comes out of that hole. So right there you see it's starting to come on out. So I'll pull this off. I'll take this top bolt and stick it in the overfill port, and then take the large bolt and slide that into the fill port. So that's pretty much the gearbox. I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to put the belt back on, and then we're going to get to greasing the grease cocks that are on here and wrap this up. So I'll be right back. Okay, so the belt's back on. All we have to do now is just grease the 8 grease cocks that are on top of the deck, and then of course the 4 wheels. So I'll show you where the 8 are on top of the deck, and then I'll do the 4 wheels later on. I mean, there's a grease cock inside each one of the 4 wheels, so you don't really need to see that. But just remember, there's 8 on top, and then 1 on each wheel. A couple of squirts of grease gets it done, and then once we're done with that, I'll come back, and the studs that are here that hold the covers on, I'll wipe them off. I'll put a little never sees on them, and we'll wrap this up. So let me go ahead and start greasing these up, and we'll get on to the next part. Remember, I pressure washed this, so these are all clean before I started. And then I'll take a paper towel when I'm done and wipe off the excess grease. All of the pulleys are done. That one took quite a bit of grease. Drive shaft. You see that coming on the side. There's another one on the other end of the shaft. Right there. And if you don't have a lock and lube head right here for your grease gun, go ahead and take the time to get one, because they really save a lot of aggravation, especially when you have a lot of these to do. 8 isn't so bad, 12 really altogether, but when you have a lot to do, like you're doing your front end loader or your backhoe, it really helps out to get into those places you can't kind of, you know, comfortably reach. So I'm going to get a paper towel, clean off the excess grease that's on these. I'm going to do the wheels, and then we'll be back in just a second. Okay, so I almost forgot, and I just remembered at the last second that we have to grease the shaft. So I have to cut those cable ties off and rub a little grease around on them. And that's not too big a deal at all, but it is important that you do this because this shaft spins, gets a lot of work, and it definitely needs to be greased up. So let me get this out of the way. And then open that up. About to there. Like I said, if the end comes off, it's not a big deal. Just to me, it's a little bit of a pain to put back on. So I'm going to go ahead and just use some wheel bearing grease around it. And again, you'd want to wipe this off with a rag or something like that before you started. But before I put it away, I pressure washed it, so we're pretty good. And then just kind of get that worked in a little bit, and after she starts spinning, she'll get herself lubed up pretty good. So you can also see that if you look at the studs where the pulley covers go, those have now been covered with Never See. So I'm going to put the top on, and we're going to finish this up. So hang in there. We're just about done. I'll be right back. All right, folks, so there's the finished product. The caps are all on. The covers are on. Everything's greased up. Wheels are greased up. It's ready to go. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. You know, while I was doing this, I got to thinking to myself, you know, this is probably the one implement that I use the most. I use it on the BX. It doesn't go on the L series. And I use it probably 18 to 20 hours a week, every week from spring until late fall. So I think it's on and off the tractor maybe a half a dozen times, maybe a little bit more. And of course, every time I take it off the tractor, I go ahead and grease everything up and inspect the blade. So if you found this video helpful, please hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, share with your friends. I want to thank you for stopping by. Good luck and Godspeed. BotaTrac out.